Hello, people. My name is Martin, and today I'm going to show you what if the U.S. went for colonialism today. Now, world alliances disbanded. So every type of like NATO, but EU, but European Union, also the European Union. Let's see, the CSTO, that's Russian alliance, and Brits as also banned. So the US gonna go off in consensus. Here's the US. It's not. It's a US territory, so that counts. And they decided to went into Greenland. So Greenland is controlled by Denmark. Denmark controls Greenland. Greenland is a communist. No, not a communist nation. I'm gonna just say they are a self-governing nation. American troops declare war on them and invade southern Greenland. Also, the red is the U.S., the blue is U.S. enemies, but dark red is U.S. allies. So don't forget about that, everybody. Just saying. A lot of people will most likely forget about it. You might be wondering, is Denmark helping? Well, they're flying, but they won't have a chance. There's been mighty US Navy. After some time, after 24 hours have passed, I would say glass, so I'm not stepping in. And you see a quarter, no, not a quarter. A quarter is like most lands here. And Greenland decided to vote who want to be ruled by, and they definitely picked the US as their ruler. So the red photo Spain is owned by the US. Period. So they decided the US decided to get back their own claims. I'm going to own credit. It's fine. It will mess up. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. The next 20 on the hit list is the old colony. Well, not even the old colony. What do you call this nation? Comment down below what you call this nation on the further borders in. What is this nation? Comment. And the US decided to invade the capital and cut the nation into two. So after some Bush fighting, the US take it. Order. Zooming out to where the US is, the US is massive. Not instead of Canada, but it's pretty darn massive. The next invasion on the list is Cuba. This will go very easy for the US, since Cuba is a communist nation. They invade here and cut the nation into half. But then you base here a span. They have a lot of troops there already. And yeah. They just dominate the other half of Cuba. And Cuba decided to join the US. Forget about the island. The next nation on the list is the Democratic Republic. See, I know most of the nations around the world, but I don't know about other African nations. This nation offered to join years ago, and they decided to let it join. Zooming out, you see, the US dominated the Caribbean Sea. And they decided to rename the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. It's already been renamed. Of course, Mexico isn't happy about that. But who will challenge the US? Who will challenge the US into dominating the world? Something like China. Well, China won't be ready for it because US have allies. I'm also doing US allies too. I know who the US allies is, so Shut. Sorry. My bad. The next nation forbidden to attack is Venezuela. The U.S. declared war and bases again in an ally. That is Colombia. Colombia is a U.S. ally for decades, and that's what Ghana joins the war. By the way, we see these two. We see American and Colombian troops march into northern wherever this region is. Alright, and we see these guys marching and like fighting and stuff like that. Yeah, this is like a mess. Which is on Ghana real shit. So Ghana is not looking too spicy right now because they just lost a lot of land. Well, not a lot of land compared to Ukraine. Yeah, they lost literally almost every single soldier. But not to worry, the US have a backup plan. They invade Venezuela from the sea. And this most likely forced the Venezuelans to rethink the plan. With an expansion layer, you see, that's a bit. We see these guys getting pushed back by American and Ghanaian forces in the north and also in the south. Venezuela opted peace, but fast forward years later, and we have Venezuela betrayed. But take a look at this aggressive history that we just made. I'm still waiting for an update. Well, not really an update. A humongous update from the map software, whatever you want to call it. Alright, here's the new borders. Sorry, I just drawing the borders, thinking that they won't get ugly. This part to be US. Well, they should lose a lot of land. So this part to Ghana, whatever you want to call this nation. I think I call this nation incorrectly, but I don't care. We see Colombia get a 2-bit piece because they are nice to them. And lastly, we see Brazil getting a piece since they are neutral during the war. You might be wondering, why Brazil getting a piece? Well, just saying the reason. And this is the height of the empire. I will zoom out so you can see the full empire. Africa, South America, Caribbeans, the Pacific, Alaska, Greenland, and that's probably it. I will see you later. Goodbye.